Good morning, everybody. Hope you're having a wonderful, amazing, fantastic, awesome, incredible day. The writer said, "This is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it." David also said, "I was glad when they said unto me, let us go into the house of the Lord." Today is Sunday, and the sun is shining, and the weather is very, very nice, and I am excited about going to the house of the Lord. And I hope that wherever you are today, that you are able to go to the house of the Lord somewhere and worship. And I do understand that you don't have to go to church to worship, but it certainly is encouraging and it's uplifting when we join ourselves to a community of believers, when we come together and we fellowship with others of like precious faith, and we worship God together in spirit and in truth. And if there's ever been a day or an hour when we needed to truly worship God in spirit and truth, this is the day, and now is the hour. There's so much darkness, there's so much pain, there's so much hurt, there's so much difficulty, there's so many problems in our world. People are facing things today that I never imagined people would face. People are hurting that you never imagined would be hurting. People are facing loss that is incredible and beyond words. The pain that people are suffering, the mental anguish, the discouragement, the disappointment, the despondency. It just seems that it's in every direction that you turn. Everywhere I go, every person that I come in contact with, everybody that I talk to, somebody's struggling, somebody's hurting, somebody's in trouble, somebody needs help in a very, very desperate way. And I know that Jesus is the answer for the world today. Above him there is no other. He truly is the way. And I want to do the very best that I can possibly do to give people hope and to help those that I can help in any possible way that God will allow me to. I want to be a voice of inspiration. I want to be a voice of encouragement. I don't want to criticize. I don't want to judge. I don't want to point my finger and accuse. I don't want to assume. I just want to love everybody. And I want to truly act like everybody loves me. I'm in the quiet, sleepy little town of Blacksburg, and I'm headed to McDonald's for my morning cup of coffee. Now, I know there's all kinds of places that you can buy coffee, but myself, I just enjoy a good hot cup of McCaff from McDonald's. And you may have a favorite spot or place that you like to drink coffee, and why don't you put down in the comments below where your favorite spot is to drink coffee. It'd be interesting to find out the different places that people go and drink coffee. What is your favorite brand of coffee? I personally like community coffee. If I'm going to buy coffee from the store and take it home, and I really enjoy community coffee. I also really enjoy Gilmore's Mercantile from Gastonia, North Carolina. I know the Gilmores personally, and they started a coffee brewing business about 3 or 4 years ago. They actually started prior to the pandemic, but the pandemic caused them to not be able to open on schedule. And so I think they eventually were able to open in 2022, and it's called Gilmore Mercantile, and they are on Franklin Boulevard in Gastonia, North Carolina, and they have some incredible coffee, and absolutely they have incredible coffee. And if you happen to go in there, or if you look them up on Facebook or social media somewhere, get Good Night in G-Town. That is a great blend, and I really enjoy it. And they've been so kind. Fact is, every time I visit their church in Charlotte, they attend Queen City Apostolic Church in Charlotte, North Carolina. Pastor Keith Smith, and I love Brother and Sister Smith so very much there. Tremendous people and very dear friends. And every time I visit Queen City Apostolic, somehow the Gilmores always know beforehand that I'm going to be there, and they always have 3 or 4 bags of coffee to give my wife and I, and we really appreciate it. And so I want to just give the Gilmores and Gilmore Mercantile in Gastonia, North Carolina, a big shout out. Again, you may not live in Gastonia, you may not even live in North Carolina, but you can find them on social media, and they ship their coffee all over the world. And try it out. I think you'll really be impressed. And so anyway, I enjoy drinking coffee. I personally am a 1 cup a day kind of guy, unless it's a special occasion, or if we're cooking dinner at home and we're entertaining guests, we always have coffee after dinner with some type of dessert. And who can resist a good hot cup of coffee with a slice of pie or a piece of cake? I mean, it's just an incredible combination, especially sitting around the table with dear friends, enjoying fellowship one with another. So I'm looking forward to church this morning, and I'm going to do something that's a little unusual. It's early at the moment, and I really don't even know at this moment where I'm going to go to church this morning. I'm just going to head toward Gastonia, Belmont, and Mount Holly. That's where I was raised as a child, and I'm just going to head that direction, and I'm just going to find out where I end up at. I don't exactly know at this moment. There's a ton of churches in that area that I've been to, and that I've preached in through the years, and know a lot of people in that area. But I'm going to just try to find me a really good place to go to church this morning. I'm not sure where at this moment, so it's going to be as much of a surprise to me as it will be to you. Yes, ma'am. Sitting here at the drive-thru at McDonald's, just about to order my coffee.
Thanks, Jim McDonald's. Use your mobile app.
Not today.
All right, go ahead and order.
All right, I would like to have a medium cup of coffee with 4 creams only.
You want it on the side or inside of it?
Inside of it, please.
Okay.
And that'll be all.
You got it. Pull it up to the first window. It's going to be $1.97.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Just fine. How about yourself?
$1.97.
All right.
Do you need a receipt?
I do not. All right, thank you. Pull into the next window too.
Medium coffee, 4 creams.
That's right, thank you very much.
Welcome. Have an awesome day.
You have a blessed day as well. Alrighty. Business is just about to pick up. Things are about to get a little better because I'm going to enjoy this very hot cup of coffee. That first drink is always the best. I don't know exactly why it is, but to me, it just seems like that the first drink of coffee is always the best. Just about to get on the interstate. How many saw that beautiful white Corvette that just passed? I have always, ever since I was big enough to really know what a car is, always loved Corvettes. When I was a child in the 70s and growing up in the 80s, I loved the Stingray. I was always fascinated by the Stingray. And now, all of these years later, I still love Corvettes. May never own one, but that's okay. I still love them. You can certainly tell it's Sunday morning because I'm on Interstate 85 headed north, and I'll be crossing the state line into North Carolina in just a few short minutes. And you can certainly tell that it's Sunday morning because there's very, very little traffic on the interstate. However, wait until about noon and that'll be much different because the traffic in this area seems to always be congested for some reason or other. I think it's because, there's Greenville, South Carolina, to the south of me, and then Spartanburg as you're coming north, and then Gaffney, and then you get to the Blacksburg area, and then you cross over the state line, and you're headed towards Charlotte. And so no doubt there's a lot of traffic in this area because Greenville is a fairly large city in South Carolina. Spartanburg's not that small either. And then of course everybody knows that Charlotte is the Queen City for North and South Carolina, and it is a very, very large city with a very large metropolitan area, and the population of Charlotte has really, really grown in the last, at last 3 decades. I've been away for 3 decades. I've been away from Charlotte for 30 years as far as living, and the population has just grown astronomically. And the sign says I'm 41 miles away from Charlotte. But I remember what it was like growing up as a kid in Charlotte. My grandparents lived downtown on 34th Street, and I remember the house. Fact is, the old house is still standing, and I went by there a few months ago and took some photos and actually stood on the porch and remembered as I stood there on that porch, I remembered those warm summer nights when all of the cousins, there were lots of us cousins because my mother's siblings, there was a big family of them, about 7 girls and 2 boys. So there were 9 siblings, and all of them were married and had families. And so when we would go to Grandma's house, there would always be a lot of us little cousins hanging out together. And I can remember many, many times as the adults were inside visiting, all of us little cousins would be out there on that front porch with the porch lights on, and we'd be playing games, and we'd be having fun, and, you know, doing all the things that little kids enjoy doing. It was a great life, it really was. And I miss those days. You know, sometimes you'd like to be able to push a button and just rewind time and go back and relive those moments and those times and those events, but I know that we really can't. You know, we just have to cherish the memories. And so I would challenge you to take advantage of every day that God gives you. And I would challenge you to make memories. Make memories with the people that you love. Make memories in the places where you are. Enjoy nature. Enjoy the beauty of this earth that God created for us to inhabit. And wrap your arms tightly around the ones that you love every day. Don't let a day go by that you don't express and show and tell people how much you love and appreciate and care about them, because we never know what day is going to be our last day. That's why we truly should try our very best to live every day as if it were going to be our last. I've made it to Mount Holly, and I'm going to drive through town this morning and again see if I can find a place to go to church. It's been a while since I've been to Mount Holly. I spent a lot of time in this little town as a child growing up. It's always been a special place. It's a lot different than it used to be. It used to have just one road going through the town. Now they have kind of a bypass around the main part of town. And I'm turning off of that bypass and I'm picking up the old road. This is part of the old original road that ran through the center of Mount Holly when I was a boy. Crossed those railroad tracks many, many times in my life. This is one of the very first public streets I drove down. When I was getting my learning how to drive. The building there on the left used to be the funeral home here in town. I see they've changed that. This pizza place right here, directly to my left, once upon a time was Hardee's. And on a Saturday afternoon, many years ago, I was probably about 6 years old. my mother had been to the beauty shop just a few blocks away and had her hair done on Saturday morning. That was her Saturday morning ritual back in the 70s, to come to town every Saturday morning and have her hair done at the beauty shop. And many times as a small boy, she would bring me along because there was no one to babysit me or watch me at home. And sometimes when we would leave the beauty shop, depending on how much money she had, we would stop by Hardee's and enjoy a little lunch, and that was always a big treat. And on this particular occasion, we were sitting there and a horrific accident happened, and a car was run over in the parking lot of Hardee's by a lady that had passed out behind the wheel, and she came straight across the main street right up into the parking lot and ran over a parked car. And as a child, I was inside, and all I wanted to do was get outside and see the action, and my mother absolutely forbid that. And anyway, when we went outside, we were so surprised to discover that the car that had been run over was actually our car. All right, I'm pulling out of the parking lot of Family Worship in Mount Holly, North Carolina. 43 years ago, as a 12-year-old boy, I gave my heart to the Lord Jesus Christ. And in this church, and my life has never been the same since. Hey guys, get a load of this car in front of me. Could not resist getting a few shots of that. How sweet is that? They certainly don't make automobiles like they used to. So nice to see that restoration still on the road. Sunday afternoon, and I am headed back to church for an evening service. I was thinking just a few minutes ago, when I was growing up in the Carolinas in the 70s and 80s, Sunday evening church was a big event for a lot of families. Lots and lots of families looked forward to not only going to church on Sunday morning, but they also looked forward to dinner Sunday afternoon. And then friends and neighbors would come by, enjoy some of the leftover dinner, some of the dessert, sit out on the front porch and drink coffee and cold iced tea, and catch up on the events of the week. And then along about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, everybody would start getting ready to go back to church on Sunday evening. And I really miss those days. It's getting more and more difficult to find a place to go to church on Sunday evening. It seems like that church culture has changed so very, very much, especially in the last 2 decades. It's just not the same as it once was. When I first got in the church as a young boy, only about 12 years old, we went to church Wednesday night, Sunday morning, and Sunday night. And most weeks, we went to church at least 2 other occasions, visiting a revival at at someone else's church. There were many weeks as a boy of 12, 13, 14 years old that we went to church every night of the week. And it was an incredible time. It was a life-changing experience. And I realized that people's lives are much more complex and much more complicated and a lot busier, and we have so many things going on today that we didn't have going on back then. But we still took time to go to church. And I think that today it's just a matter of priority, because I know for myself, at the end of the day, I'm going to always do whatever I want to do, regardless of what that is, regardless of the changes that I have to make or the obstacles that I have to endure or the hoops I've got to jump through. At the end of the day, I'm going to do whatever it is that I want to do. And so I think that for a lot of people, unfortunately, we've lost the want to. We just don't have the want to attend church in the same way that we once did. We just don't have the want to be as faithful and as committed as we once were.